Such a great pleasure to address you today at the closing of the third Global Peace Summit in front of so many young faces. I think it's the best way to start the new year, full of dynamics and hopes. So allow me to take this opportunity to wish you a happy and peaceful new year. I thank the organizer, Humanitarian Affairs Asia, for the invitation and for bringing stakeholders together to celebrate the principles of solidarity and cooperation. Because cooperation will be central to make the future we want in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development possible. The year past, 2023, was an important year, marking the halfway point of the 2030 Agenda. And we should recognize that our Asia-Pacific region is far from the path of sustainability. 2023 was the hottest year on record. This was felt in many parts of our region, with women, children, the elderly, and the people with disabilities bearing the brunt of a raging climate crisis. It was also the year when we witnessed a fracturing world and enormous sufferings. Progress on human development has reversed. The number of people living in conflict-affected contexts has increased, and the humanitarian needs are growing, with the majority of humanitarian needs nowadays emanate from conflict and from countries affected by fragility, lagging furthest behind on the path towards the sustainable and inclusive development. There is a growing international consensus about the need to anchor development efforts in the pursuit of peace. So that's why here I would like to emphasize the nexus between development, humanitarian needs, and peace. Dear participants and young delegates, at the SDG Summit in year 2023, we heard a resounding call from leaders and people from all walks of life for doubling down on the sustainable development. There is a picture of hope, actually. The seeds of change are planted in many of the transformative actions across our region, from raising the level of investment in people and healthcare to investing in an early warning system for all that prevents communities from being blindsided by disasters. To make a better future for all possible, we need these actions to take place at scale and speed in the spirit of solidarity and cooperation, the same way that we have witnessed through the Global Peace Summit. Cooperation will be needed to scale up resources to mitigate the impact of the crisis and build resilience of our economy and the people. Cooperation will be vital for developing and sharing solutions and the capacity to prepare for and respond to the current and the future crisis. Dear participants, I would like to congratulate the outstanding winners of the Global Peace Prize. The work to bridge differences, foster understanding, and facilitate dialogues by the distinguished delegates shows as a beacon of hope. If there is any lesson from the cascade of crises in recent years, it's that we can only achieve a better future for all when we do it together. As the UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, said in his New Year remarks, humanity is strongest when we stand together. 2024 must be a year for rebuilding trust and restoring hope. We must come together across divides for shared solutions. 2024 will be yet another important year for the global community as we look towards the Summit of the Future, which is going to take place in September in the headquarters of New York. It's a once-in-a-generation opportunity to decide how we better meet the needs of the present while also preparing for the challenges of the future. In this endeavor, I believe that you will have your footprints. Yes, as one speaker said, that I can do so much, but we can do so much more. So finally, thank you once again for having me. Happy New Year and a safe journey to all who are traveling home tomorrow.